This is Jasmin. She might look like a regular woman in her late 20s, but her story is anything but ordinary. She's the owner of New Zealand's fastest growing tattoo business, and she built it while raising a newborn as a single mum.
My number one motivation in all of it is my son. My son's dad's never contributed anything towards our lives.
Despite all the challenges, her studio made over $2 million in revenue last year. She now employs 30 staff and spends most of the year living in Bali.
We did over $2 million in sales last year.
Jeepers.
Today, I'm taking you inside her life and business to see how she made it happen and prove that if she can do it, so can you.
Hello.
Hello.
Come in.
How long are you here for?
New Zealand?
Yeah.
I am here for 2 weeks total, but I am shooting back to New Zealand to Bali on Tuesday.
And so just give a brief kind of description of who you are and what you exactly do.
Okay, I'm going to make my oats while I do
Go
it
for it.
because I need to get moving. My day is already rolling. I'm Jasmin. I am 28 years old. I am a business owner. I have 3 companies now, actually. My main business probably is my tattoo studios.
That's your initial business?
That's my initial business. That's where I started in terms of entrepreneur real ventures. I am a mum as well. And I opened my tattoo studios when I was about 22 years old.
So it was 5 years ago,
Yeah,
2020?
5 years, 2020, during COVID.
COVID.
I mean, it was a difficult time, but I suppose it was a slower time for everyone. So there was like a bit more time to think about what I wanted to do as a person. I was a new mum at the time.
Definitely weren't making it easy for yourself.
No, I wasn't making it easy for myself. I had a partner at the time who was a tattoo artist, and that's my son's dad. We met in Bali and lived in Bali.
Yeah.
But he was moving to New Zealand. I mean, he needed somewhere to work from, right? Like for his tattoo career, and my background was like sales and marketing. I was a new mom, and I had managed to save a bit of money while I was on maternity leave. And I wanted to support him to live here in New Zealand. So I went around visiting different places, checking out sites that we could lease here in Christchurch. And I was lucky enough to end up on New Regent Street in the city, which if you don't know is like one of New Zealand's most iconic streets.
Yeah.
But at the time, I mean, there was no tourism. And obviously during COVID, those businesses closed down. There was like a lot of empty shops on the street at the time and people were really struggling. So I managed to secure like just at first a downstairs part of one of the buildings. They're really small, like 30 square feet. 3 months later, we broke up. And
Damn, right. So like you signed the lease and everything.
Signed the lease.
3 months.
3 months from that, we split up and I was kind of stuck with these tattoo studios, which obviously wasn't my thing.
Not even in tattoos at all?
I wasn't even into tattoos, to be honest.
kidding.
Like, if I'm totally transparent, I wasn't even into tattoos. Something that I never thought about getting into, and it was more something I did to support him. He needed money and I needed a job, and that's kind of how it worked. But we had a couple of other artists that had come in kind of to work alongside him. He's a really great artist. So I was like, okay, he left and I was like, these people are never going to want to work for me. What the hell do I know about tattoos? What the hell do I know about this industry? Literally nothing. And I thought, yeah, I'll try and make it work for the next year because I'd signed a lease. No background running my own business at all. And that was super scary because I'd obviously signed like commercial leases, basically impossible to get out of. It's not like a house lease when, you can just kind of break the lease. It's like you're basically liable for the
You're off to court.
The lease. Yeah. Unless you declare bankruptcy, you're kind of screwed. So I just thought if I can keep it afloat for the first year and just get myself out of this like little lease term that I'd signed for and make any money or just not lose a whole amount of money because it was like, I don't know, $600 a week, which for me at the time was a huge amount. I wasn't making money from anything else really. I was actually still doing my little online stuff, but I honestly think I worked for like $25 an hour or so. I was still doing that in the background of everything as well. And I had a 9-month-old baby, which was a lot. But yeah, I mean, I had him like strapped to my front and I was doing the reception and I was doing the cleaning and then I'd be putting the signs out in the morning and trying to get clients and doing the social media. I was like coming home every day. I'd be in bed, like on my phone, like, oh my God, we need to find clients for tomorrow and these artists are going to quit if I don't find them. And yeah, I mean, somehow it's all a bit of a blur, but it worked after the first year. We were able to take the upstairs part of the studio as well.
Yeah.
It meant that I was able to hire more artists and that was like still a risk, it was still really scary.
I mean, what were you feeling at that time? Obviously you seem to be nonchalant and confident about it, but
I was so naive that I had no idea what I was getting myself in for, if I'm totally honest with you. I honestly think that that's like an approach.
But that could be
in
a strength,
itself.
doesn't it?
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I think like in itself, I didn't know how deep it was going to go. Like I just kind of was like just winging it, like making decisions. Like that's the thing with a business, like you just sort of like, it's problem solving, right? And if you're good at problem solving, you can kind of get through anything. But yeah, I mean, if I think about it in hindsight, it was overwhelming.
in terms of revenue for say last year, how much roughly were you making, do you know?
I mean, from there, we took the next door space as well. So a second shop on New Regent Street, and like COVID recovered and the tourists came back. And then now I've got another studio. So across my first company, we did over $2 million in sales last year.
Jeepers.
Yes.
Unreal, eh? At 28, you make me feel like a piece of shit.
No. I mean, obviously the profit margin's on there. I mean, I'm not sitting in $2 million. I mean, it's fantastic. It's an amazing business now. And it's grown over the past 5 years to, 18 artists, 30 staff, growing into this huge company with an amazing culture.
Would you say you're like passionate about tattoos now? Or
Yes.
is that?
Yes. I mean, I'm covered in tattoos.
Do you do them yourself? Or
No,
you actually
I
sign
can't
us up?
tattoo. Yeah, I can't tattoo.
You can't tattoo at all?
No, I can't tattoo at all. I'm passionate about client experience. I mean, like tattoos are tattoos at the end of the day. They're amazing and they're artistic, but it's like what people get out of the experience of getting a tattoo. Like that's what I'm passionate about, curating that whole experience from start to finish.
So you've done with your oats.
We've done the oats. I need to
What's the plan
quickly
from here?
I need to quickly get changed. The day is crazy. My days are crazy every day. I feel like I'm going to be running around meetings all morning, and then I am speaking at an event later this evening for entrepreneurs. I have got check-ins with my artists while I'm here. You know, they have the opportunity probably to talk to me about any problems that they have, and I can try and fix them. I've got to jump on a call in about 10 minutes with my business partner for the app and software. We're trying to build something that will help tattoo studios streamline their booking process, help with marketing, and I want to get it into tech and software. So we're trying to work with this whole AI thing that's taking over the world and set something up. Lots of them don't have problems.
What, on Tuesday you're going back to Bali?
So where are we off to right now?
All right, we are heading to the first tattoo studio this morning. I have meetings with my staff most of the morning, just make sure everything's okay, talk to anyone about any changes that need to be made, and just make sure everything's running smoothly, to be honest.
Was there like a particular turning point where you're just like, maybe I want to get into business?
Honestly, no. I think it just sort of happened to me, and I realized that I was good at it, and no 2 days are ever the same, and I sort of have always been like a good problem solver, I suppose. And so for me, like business, I just view as problem solving. It's like you just get presented with new challenges all the time, and basically all you need to do is fix them.
And have you always had that kind of mindset of just go, overcome any challenge that kind of comes to you?
I think I was really lucky that I was like raised in a house where like I was made to feel like anything was possible. And I think that helped me a lot, because being confident is a really big part of business as well. It's kind of like a case of fake it till you make it sometimes. I think growing up, I got into quite a bit of trouble when I was a teenager. I was pretty naughty. I dropped out of school.
What age was that when you dropped out?
I probably dropped out at about 15 first. I don't know. I did a lot of drugs really young, if I'm honest. And I just kind of fell into that crowd, like a lot of people do, I guess.
That's the classic route, isn't it?
That's the classic
falling into the
route.
wrong crowd and then...
Yeah. For me personally, I feel like it was character building in some ways.
Like a necessary evil.
Yeah, necessary evil. It taught me a lot at a young age, and it's sort of taught me what I wanted to be, and that it was not that. Dropped out, went down the wrong track, went back to school, and all of a sudden everything was super easy for me. Yeah, I went and started studying at UC. And I studied sociology and English major, which I loved. I was like straight A student. I was there all the time. I was only 17, couldn't even party. But after 2 years, I went away on a little summer break to Australia, and I never came back. So basically from then I went and became a waitress, and I was like, oh my God, $600 a week. And I was like, yeah, just a waitress. And I just went out with my friends. I met lots of people that were traveling all over the world. I lived in Australia for a couple of years, and then a friend of mine passed away that I worked with, and I just found it really hard to go back to work. he took his life. Yeah, and that was really hard. And I think it was the first time I had dealt with like grief and losing a friend and losing anyone really close to me. So I found it really hard to go back to work after that. And I thought I'd take a couple of months off and go to Bali. My parents are like, we can't tell her what to do. She was like, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, that's my lesson to learn, right? And I think it's a good parenting tactic to just let people learn their own lessons. Like I said, I was really naive when I was starting out in business. I didn't crunch the numbers. I didn't do market research. I didn't have a business plan. But over the last 5 years, all of those sorts of things have become like part of my daily life. And I read a lot of books and I did so much research. Like I read and read and read. I listened to so many podcasts every day of my life to understand business. Like when it all landed on my shoulders, I was like, okay, I'm either like sink or swim. And I got some business mentorship probably a couple of years in.
Obviously, you're a very motivated person, but has your motivation kind of changed over time?
Yes, and it does continue to change. I mean, my number one motivation and in all of it is my son. My son's dad's never contributed anything towards our lives. I knew that if I didn't build a life that I could sustain myself and him financially, that it was always going to be a struggle. But at the same time, it's also the reason that I'm not with him 24/7, and the reason that I'm busy all the time and the reason that I'm away from it. So like at this stage in the business, I'm sort of like coming to terms with like, okay, I need to slow down because I'm missing out on his life at this point because I want my businesses to thrive, and it's become a huge part of my identity, even more so than being a mum. I mean, money was a huge motivation for me always. It was money for a long time. I'm not going to like dance around it. I like business. I like making money. I loved how my life changed when I started being able to afford to do things that I wanted to do. And I came from like quite a frugal family and background. So my sort of mindset around money was like very different in the past. I think one of my probably biggest motivations now is having my team. I've got 30 staff that rely on me, that, that make money through this business, that pay their rent through this business, that feed their kids through this business. But I mean, like seeing them happy, and you see the way they interact with me, and they're like,
it's like a family. Yeah,
it is like a family. Like it's 100% like a family. Like we fight like a family, and we laugh like a family, and we talk like a family. It's a fun, dynamic, diverse environment, and I'm like proud to be a part of it.
A lot of people, when it comes to working remotely, you'd think drop shipping or say social media only, but you've got an actual physical business. How do you think you've made it work, being able to work remotely when you have all these things going on here?
I've had a lot of support from my team. Like honestly, I couldn't do it without them. The managers are fantastic. But I am like very much always on my phone. I'm very contactable with my team. Like, I mean, that's the trade-off that I sort of take living remotely, is like my sort of approach to things is like, if there's a problem, we just need to solve it, and as soon as possible. And then it's been the last 2 years that I've lived in Bali and then been back and forwards, and I've traveled around, and it's difficult with different time zones, but now they're pretty used to it.
Just listen to what Tyler.
Cool, so you've just come out of a meeting. How was that?
Meeting was good, and I just chatted with the hotel management about what's going on in the area. We're here at the Drifter Hotel. This is where one of my tattoo studios is, just sort of going over what the future plans are for the area, what we see coming in the next few years. So we've got the rugby being opened on the opening weekend in April, and they're really booked up in the hotel from September onwards, which is a great sign for us.
With this tattoo studio, I've noticed it's quite inviting.
Yeah.
It's not intimidating.
100%. I think that's something like we've really focused on, was like, if you look at the barriers for what gets people into tattoo studios, one of the biggest barriers would be that it's an intimidating environment, and that often people aren't super friendly or inviting, and people also don't really know how to engage with the tattoo studio. Like, what's the first step? What's the norm? So what we try and do is create really inviting environments for clients to be able to come in and feel like they can speak safely, because it's literally such a common thing with tattoos that people will feel too scared to say how they really feel because they don't want to insult the artist and their work, and then they'll end up with a tattoo that they don't want.
And I mean, how do most clients get in touch with you? Is it generally through social media that they find you?
Yeah, I mean, we have a huge emphasis on marketing. We do reels and TikToks and just like show people that we're really fun and really friendly, because if they get the vibe, I feel like they want to come to Haven, and we try and get people in because once they come to Haven, they will be our client for life. Like I'm so confident in the business and the way that my staff are, my artists are, like they are so friendly and so amazing at what they do. I know that once people get into the studio, they'll be coming back to us for every tattoo they ever get. So.
And I'm just curious, like if someone comes in and they're not, say, happy with their tattoo, what happens? Because that's permanent, so.
Very rarely would we ever have clients that are unhappy. They have great experiences 99.9% of the time, but of course there is going to be some people that you cannot please because they have unrealistic expectations. There are still times, everyone has an off day where someone makes a mistake or like a spelling mistake in a script tattoo that no one picked up on. And that's often the client as well. Like, I mean, we've had one really unhappy client, something that sticks with me probably. I wasn't proud of the work that was on the client, I'm not gonna lie. The artist no longer works with us and left shortly after that happened because we just can't have that sort of stuff happening at our studio, and that was really hard for me. I mean, I know the artist, I know the person, it was difficult.
So what was the biggest lesson you kind of took away from that?
Turning down business when you can foresee a problem with a client. You know, I look at things from a business perspective. I want every client booked in, you know, from a business owner's perspective, but also from the perspective of like, we can do every tattoo. So we just need to find who's the right person, whatever it is. But sometimes you can tell that a certain client has an unrealistic expectation because you're looking at a design done by AI on a 18-year-old girl's body and you are a 70-year-old man, you know, with a totally different skin type, and the tattoo is on skin and not on the computer. You know, it's just actually about saying no to people. Sometimes you can see a problem happening and you need to say no and turn the person away.
All right, where are we right now?
We are going to my little underground vault to pick up some stuff and drop some stuff off.
Some valuable stuff?
Some valuable things. So it's just a little vault that's underground. You can kind of keep like safe passwords in, gold or cash. Hello. I'm good, how are you?
I just turned down a $42,000 commission for a guy in America.
Wow.
Because he just was
What can we do?
Yeah.
We were looking at alcohol wipes.
Hi, look at these sleeves. Oh my God, I don't know who's dressed better today, me or you.
Look at you!
I like you. I've been seeing Rue more than I saw you. I'm in at a king all the time. How talented is she? Like, how talented are my friends? She hand-stitched these beautiful bows.
Sweet, thank you very much for filming with us.
Yeah, no worries, my pleasure.
So looking at you now, next 5 years, where do you want yourself to be?
Honestly, I don't know. It changes all the time. I'm doing the sort of tech startup now, where I think I'm hoping that will take off and be an amazing thing. And I'm working with a really amazing, talented group of people, and I am really have a lot of faith in it taking off. So I'm hoping that my energy and time gets spent on that a little bit more. One of my tattoo artists is actually buying into my new Regent Street studio, and I'm really excited for her, for the next stage of her journey. But that means that I can step back a little bit more. Yeah. And I need I need someone on the ground, sort of working in the studios a little bit more, and that's just kind of what I want. I've decided that I'm going to get more hobbies. I decided I got to stop taking on too much work.
Stop being a workaholic?
As soon as I get a little bit of spare time, I just start taking on more and more work. It's like a kind of a toxic trait that I've realized with myself. So I've decided that I'm going to start just doing some more hobby stuff. I mean, look, 5 years, I want to be semi-retired. I want to be working maximum 10 to 20 hours a week, spending time with my son, and probably working more on building a home and chilling.
Nice. And so for those out there that want to do what you're doing, essentially, become an entrepreneur, business owner, what would be your advice to them?
Do it. Do it. Don't even think about it, just do it. Really, honestly, just do it. Just bite the bullet, work hard, push when you need to, chill when you can, put the work in when the work needs to be done, and take risks. You're only young, especially if you're young. It's just money at the end of the day. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen?